Sit proper.
Good morning. Today this conference will be used to go over the events that unfolded in the capital of Rome on the Ides of March. Julius Caesar was killed in the capital of Rome. This conference will go over and discuss that matter. To begin, we will start with the representatives of Brutus discussing these events. Questions can be posed to Brutus and Mark Antony's once I say so. Thank you.
We are gathered here today to talk about all the recent events that have taken place. The King of Rome, Julius Caesar, was assassinated by a group of conspirators. This group included Brutus and Cassius, one of the few people who have known Caesar for the longest time. The conspirators believed that the death of the king would be better for Rome. The assassination wasn't an act of selfishness. It was an act for the Roman people, and they think it would be better for them to free Caesar from his control.
I feel that Caesar's death needed to happen. I feel that Brutus wanted us to have freedom, and that's exactly what we did. I feel like Caesar's assassination should have happened because he had you guys at his own will to benefit himself instead of Rome as a whole.
We gather here today to address the offense that occurred on March 15th, 44 BC in the Capitol building of Rome. The man who was to take leadership was brutally stabbed and betrayed by his friends. First, I would like to give my deepest condolences to all those close to Julius Caesar, including his wife Calpurnia and nephew Octavius, and my heartfelt thank you to everyone who is supporting our cause. I will now introduce you to Ariana Mott, who will be speaking on our behalf.
Due to recent events that have unfolded in the Capitol on the Ides of March, we have gathered here to discuss the fact that Julius Caesar was brutally stabbed to death. Julius Caesar was to take leadership of Rome, but despite him being a good person, someone who claimed themselves as a good friend turned on him, helping with this act of violence.
Caesar had lacked respect for the Senate. He made careless decisions and put Rome at stake. He changed the republic not for the greater good, and he made illegal actions and didn't stand trial for them.
Questions can now be posed at this time. Questions can now be posed at this time. Questions can now be posed at this time.
So this is for the group on the left. How do you believe the assassination of Julius Caesar will impact the political landscape of Rome?
I'll answer this one. I feel that his death will affect the political state by actually letting us have a less strict government and a more freedom-based kind of government and political state for the Rome commoners and us as a whole, because I feel that Caesar was really controlling, and I feel that without Caesar we'll find a better and bigger power that will help us have more freedom. Next question.
You keep saying that he was controlling and was acting in selfish ways. In what ways was he doing so?
In many instances, I feel that Caesar was taking advantage of Roman commoners when it came down to telling them what to do, like using them to go to war when we didn't really need to, telling them to also be in like a state of willingness at his knees. They would do anything for him because he is their king, and that he knew that, so he took advantage of that. And I feel that Brutus as a whole would be a way better fit because he didn't do something like that.
This is for the group on the right. Do you feel Caesar was unfair to the people of Rome?
Do you want to do it? Okay. I do not feel that Caesar was unfair to the people of Rome because he denied the crown multiple times when he was offered it, and all of the people loved him at that time, so they obviously didn't think that he was being unfair to them if they wanted him to be king. Next question.
Was it necessary to kill Julius Caesar?
I think it was because he was really controlling, and he had the control. He knew that he had it, so he abused it, and he just wasn't the great ruler. He wasn't the greatest ruler.
This is a question for the group on the right. How do you feel about the allegations of Caesar killing Flavius and Marcellus?
Okay, so there's not really evidence against that. So I just think like it didn't need to be done. So like doing that just like caused more problems, you know?
There's no evidence that he actually killed
Yeah.
them.
So we don't know for sure if he did it.
This is for the group on the right. When will the new leader of Rome be decided on?
We're not sure of when the new leader is going to be decided on as of right now, but that is currently being worked on.
Do you have any solid evidence for the actions you claim Caesar would take?
Okay.
Can you repeat that again, actually? Sorry.
Do you have any solid evidence for the action you claim Caesar would take?
We don't have any exact solid evidence, but we do know that Caesar at many times would put and belittle Brutus, which was a main example of this instance, by putting Octavius over him in many ways, and he also had Brutus at his will, and he had many people going against him for no reason, because Brutus would just be the people's person while the people were against Caesar.
This question is for the group on the right. What do you believe will be the long-term consequences of Julius Caesar's assassination on Rome and its empire?
Do you want it? I think that Rome will go into dismay, and the actions were not necessary, and if Caesar was still alive, then we wouldn't have to go through this.
This is for the group on the left. Why did you decide to only kill Caesar and not Mark Antony?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Why did you decide to only kill Caesar and not kill Mark Antony?
Because Caesar was, we wanted to spare Mark Antony because Caesar was the main one that we wanted to go for, and it wasn't worth to kill Mark Antony.
What were the circumstances around his death? When and where did he die?
So he was killed because people believed that he was doing something that wouldn't help Rome, and he was killed in the capital of Rome when he was going to accept the crown.
For what measures are you guys, this is for both of you, what measures are you guys taking to ensure the stability of Rome?
I feel that we are going to keep the stability at a great level, better than what Caesar had, by putting better people in charge next time so this doesn't happen, because the outbreak that took place was not okay, and I feel that when Flavius and Marcellus both died, it showed that random people that shouldn't deserve to die have died because we can't keep it a whole, and we're going to do this by finding a better political government. We're going to take care of the economy, and we're going to build a better place of Rome that was destroyed because of Caesar's actions.
We are currently working on finding new people to take over the government and to run Rome.
Who was involved in this assassination?
There were many people involved in it. Brutus, who was a close friend, or claimed to be a close friend of Caesar, was one of the main conspirators.
As well as Cassius.
Yeah, Cassius.
Do you think the conspirators should be punished for their actions?
I feel for the most part that what the conspirators did wasn't the best thing to do, but I feel like it needed to be done. I feel like, yes, they should get actions and repercussions, but I feel like also what they did was the right thing to do, because killing Caesar was the thing to do to save us from being against him and giving us freedom as a whole.
Who do you plan on taking over the power of Rome now that Caesar's gone?
No, we are currently trying to figure that out. We don't plan to take Caesar's spot, but we plan to improve what Caesar didn't do.
Just for the group on the right, were there any warning signs that his death was incoming?
There was a lot of signs that his death was coming. He even was concerned about it, and he did not originally want to go to this meeting, but he was convinced by the conspirators to attend where he was assassinated.
This is for the group on the left. How do you feel about the actions committed by the conspirators?
I feel that the actions that were committed against the conspirators were not something that should have happened. I feel that it was a really big misunderstanding, and they acted out because they were not in a good mental state of what they were thinking and doing, which caused something like that whole outbreak to happen after Caesar's death to happen, which was not okay.
This is for the group on the left. How long were you guys planning to kill Caesar?
The planning went for months.
What is the future of Rome going to look like without Julius Caesar? What's going to change?
We will continue to have a strict government, but given the freedom you citizens deserve, I'm not sure what else we will have planned, but I want you all leaving this conference knowing that this will be taken care of with patience, and it'll take time.
I know now it's like very messy, but in the future, how do you think these citizens are going to look back at this? Like, do you think it's going to be the right decision to murder their future king, or a grave mistake that they made?
I feel like the murder isn't the part that we should be focusing on, but I feel like it's also the fact that Caesar has been for months and years taking control of unnecessary things like the people at their own will and stake when it shouldn't have happened, and he was using and abusing his power way more than he should have. And I feel that we're going to look back at this as not just the murder, but as taking control and taking back as Rome as a whole and getting what we deserve.
This is a group for the right. With Mark Antony being his best friend, do you think he'll try and step up and be the next Caesar?
I do not think that he will try and become the new Caesar because he saw what happened to Caesar, and he most certainly doesn't want that for himself.
For the group on the left, have the conspirators expressed any regret for their actions?
Yes, we do know that what we've done was very not good, but we did it for the people of Rome.
Any more questions?
The events that unfolded in the capital of Rome are something that can be viewed in extreme different perspectives. We hope this press conference was beneficial to those who listen. We saw different sides answer questions diligently to provide the people of Rome with the information they want and deserve. We thank you for your time.